Good day, IT pros and tech savvy persons. This is your girl Riri coming to you with the weekly information security alert. Today, we are talking about Microsoft Dynamics 365, specifically the voice, customer voice platform. So, what's going on? This security alert dropped on November 4th, which was, if you get a chance to watch this, was just this past weekend. Researchers at the company Avanin says that attackers are using Microsoft Dynamics 365 customer voice to get around email filters and send phishing emails to Microsoft users' inboxes. And I don't think that's just limited to the 365 platform. The platform is what they are harnessing. So, this research company, if you are familiar with them or not, Avanin offers an AI solution that protects cloud, email, and collaboration suites from cyber attacks that evade typical and your default security tools. So I think it's interesting that they're the ones who found um, this particular flaw in the Microsoft Dynamics platform. Um, so Microsoft 365, if you're familiar with that, it's a set of applications for managing enterprise resources, ERP, and customer relationship, CRM tools. Specifically, the customer voice feature is one of the apps in this platform, and it's used to get information and feedback from customers through surveys, phone calls, and other means like forums and reports. So Microsoft markets the Dynamics 365 customer voice as an enterprise feedback management application companies can use to keep track of customer metrics from line of business applications and built-in Microsoft Forms for real-time surveys and data that are inputted into customer records. So some of their competitors include SurveyMonkey for Enterprise, Qualtrics Customer Experience, and Ask Nicely. So this is Microsoft's product in competition with these other platforms. So the attack, what's occurring? Attackers have learned how to set up the customer voice accounts, and are using them to send phishing emails that say recipients have a voicemail because that's part of one of the features of this tool. So just like Google Voice, things like that, if you get a voicemail, it actually converts it into either an SMS, or it converts it into some type of readable format and sends you that email. So I have a picture here I'm pulling up of an example, and just like savvy hackers are, it actually looks very legit, like as though it's coming from inside of the platform. As you can see from the two line and from some of the content, it actually looks like a very legitimate email. And to the end user, it looks just like a voicemail from one of their customers, which would be easy to click on and listen to, just a very natural reaction to receiving an alert or receiving such an email. You would just click on it, and that's phishing. That's typical phishing. So a little bit of nerd stuff, something I'm going to start implementing into my post, because this is actually what I'm interested in. I actually look at the architecture of things, of systems, of platforms, and kind of break down what's going on that way. So the picture I have up is an architecture view of the platform. the 1.0 integration framework for Microsoft 365 Dynamics. And you can see this particular um, layout. It's pretty simplistic, but it shows how the flow of information within the Dynamics framework communicates. And what we're talking about is at step four, is at process four, the communication widget. Now, what is this? This is a web-based communication API type tool. It's third party hosted. It's a third party hosted widget within the Dynamics channel that provides integration for voice and email type features. It's a multi purpose communication widget wherein you can host CTI, chat, email, or other voice based services. And here's another slide, which another picture, another graphic architectural layout, which shows you again, where how the communication traverses across this platform. So in the top half, we see customer voice services, and it rides along common data services. Now, Microsoft doesn't call it that anymore. It's the Dataverse, is what they're calling it now. The Microsoft Dataverse. We have all these verses coming out in the past year, um, to be discussed in a later post. But here we have where the voice services ride, and you can see in the second under distribute survey, when we go down, we see the Microsoft the Dynamics 365 marketing email services, and we see how that's communicating along the data plane there. And this is all AI based as your data traverses through the data services. That customer voice data is then translated based on analytics and based off of text scraping and responses, and it's translated into a visual email with a populated title and content based off of what was in this data plane. So very interesting there. So the mechanics of the attack. Let's take a look into that real quick. The link in the email is actually a real Microsoft customer voice link that goes to a standard Microsoft page. This is enough for email filters and security scanners to think the email is real and allows it to pass into the targeted user's inbox. So what will happen, it's pretty simplistic. When a user clicks on play the voicemail button on the email page, users are then, of course, taken to a fake Microsoft login page. Um, and of course, you're going to go ahead and in standard phishing format, you're going to go ahead and enter your credentials, enter your username, use your password, and that's enough for what the intent was, is to gain credentials and to then be able to make another attack at a later time. In this case, careful users will notice that the URL of the phishing page has nothing to do with Microsoft, and that's really what needs to be put in place here is user education, user attention, and being aware of user, definitely at the internal level, just being aware of phishing schemes, and what an internal email should look like from this platform and what to be mindful of. So hackers use what has been deemed the static expressway to get to end users. And in short, it's a way to get around security scanners by using sites that are considered safe. Static Expressway refers to the idea that hackers use real web pages to host or send phishing content to end users. Because these sites are so popular, they often end up on a static allow list, and Microsoft is definitely one of them. And then they go straight to the end user's inbox. So Hacker Logic and Hacker Logic, the security service, um, just can't be blocked by Microsoft because then no work would get done. Instead, end users, what they tend to do, they trust these links because they come from a source that looks known and trusted. And this, of course, makes it possible for hackers to get into your network. There was a lot in this particular tag, in this particular post, where we can glean from not only potential opportunities here with looking at job outlook, but again, still education on where companies need to then improve their security posture and how user education is important, but to then also look at what skills can be transitioned into in here. And definitely we see opportunities for penetration testing. We see opportunities for even training here, training users on how to use products and services and what to look out for cybersecurity. Lots in this particular post. So a new thing I'm also introducing now is a rating. So what does Microsoft get? Microsoft gets a thumbs down today. They get a thumbs down because since this story broke, and I know it's only really been about a day or so, but since this story broke, Microsoft has said nothing. Uh, no user education, no awareness to their customers, no heads up for patching, nothing. This particular news story broke from a third party, and Microsoft has not, as far as I've seen, come out to support their customers using this platform in any way. So, thumbs down for Microsoft. Well, that is it for this particular alert. Stay tuned for another, and until the next, bye bye.